So, hi Jess, welcome to moigai.com. First off, how are you involved with martial arts or MMA specifically?
Okay, well, hi, thanks for the opportunity. My involvement with MMA started about 10 years ago when I started training at Fight Fighting Academy. Back when the gym was in Rubik Street, which is many moons ago. Fell in love with the sport, mainly did stand up, and then about 4 or 5 years after I started with stand up that I kind of feel brave enough to delve into the BJJ side of things. And it was love at first sight.
Awesome. So, we've been speaking quite a bit behind the scenes, and you've started a website blog which has stirred a bit in the community called PrettyTuff.co.za. Tell us a bit about it, what's your aims with it, where it's going.
Cool. Well, my whole idea behind PrettyTuff was an online MMA magazine that was written from a Czech's perspective. I think that women in MMA industry in general, on a global level, has grown tremendously over the last couple of years. And now with the likes, or the vocal likes of your Ronda Rouseys, things are really becoming a lot more prominent. And I think girls are seeing, or women are seeing, that there's a real potential and opportunity for them in MMA, and they're not just needed for ring girls or for pretty little things that are accompanying their boyfriends at fights. That they're actually interested and knowledgeable about the sport. So that was kind of the idea behind PrettyTuff. Having said that, it's not just an online magazine for girls. In fact, so far the readers are probably about 80% guys. So it's been interesting to see how things have turned out.
Cool. What advice would you give for girls looking to get involved in the sport from a more active perspective, whether it's just training for self-defense or for fighting?
Look, I'd say just get involved as much as possible, and don't get intimidated by a male-dominated gym. I think that's something that Kerry Ann, who you interviewed recently, said, is that there's just a general shallow pool of fighters in South Africa and globally. And the more girls get involved, the faster we can turn that pool into something that's allows us to compete on a professional level. I think ladies seem to lack a little bit more commitment than their male counterparts, and it's got to do with other things. If you're in your early 20s, and it's not necessarily family commitments, but certainly one of the challenges that I've had over the last 5 years has been family commitments, getting married, having babies, that kind of thing, which makes staying committed to a training program quite tough.
Okay. So, what do you feel needs to happen in South Africa for a competitive women's division to start up? Whether it's promotion on its own or part of UFC or CFL or something along those lines.
Look, I think it's started, and it's something that again Kerry Ann brought to the fore, was that there are on the amateur level things like Cape Fight League that have said that they're open to the idea of female competitors in their particular promotion. So I definitely think that's the start. Having said that, it took UFC 20 years, so it's not going to happen overnight here. And in terms of UFC accepting females into promotion, I reckon we're looking at a 5-year time frame. We need to have a good solid pool of fighters first. They've never actually said whether they even consider having women fight in UFC, but it's got to start somewhere. So if you even look at the amount of, say, K1 or Muay Thai female competitors, even that pool is quite thin. So to expect them now to go get a ground game and become all-round mixed martial artists, it's going to take a little bit of time. So we'll have to just watch the space. I think the more happens on the international scene and the more commercial that female MMA athletes become, I think the more women will see that it's actually a possibility for them.
Okay, so Jess, you're a mother of 2. Are your kids involved with training at all, or are you hesitant against them getting involved? What are your thoughts?
Look, my kids are very young still. My son he'll be 3 in October. My daughter's only 5 months old. In terms of my son, definitely, we're going to be starting BJJ when he's 3, and I think it's something that he'll be very good at and he enjoys. He loves running around in the gym. He's got his own set of boxing gloves that are sitting over there. So he's definitely shown interest already. Whether I'll regret it when he's like 17 and competing on a high level is another story. So look at the likes of Castellano and Don Madge. I was at EFC 29 in Joburg, and both moms were visibly tense. There was some hectic crowd interactions on both sides. So thinking about myself in that situation, how I would feel actually being in the audience while my son is in the ring, that's quite a scary thing for me. But I've got a couple of years before I need to get there, so we'll cross that bridge then. But in the meantime, I think it's a very nice place to grow up, is to grow up on the mat, to grow up around a gym. He's very blessed to be in that position.
Any last thoughts or thank yous or anything you want us to give out?
Guy, I'd actually really like to say thank you to the supporters that I have had on PrettyTuff up until now. It's been a huge surprise that the blog has grown as fast as it has in a very short space of time. I always knew that being a girl and trying to break into sort of an opinion in the MMA industry was going to be a little bit tough. I have had some criticism up until now, but it's been majority of the reads and the traffic that I've had has been very welcoming. So big thank you to the guys that have supported me so far. And yeah, just keep following me. It's PrettyTuffZA on Twitter and PrettyTuffZA on Facebook, and www.prettytuff.co.za.
Thank you for your time, Jess.
Thank you.